he went up to Washington, D.C. to meet Republican lawmakers and ostensibly draw support for his nascent political campaign. I don't know if this release came out while the guy was actually meeting with him, but it just gave you a sense of of how much Donald Trump owns the Republican Party. Lance Gooden, he is a Republican from Texas. What time did he release this? Keep going. Can you go down a little bit? What time was it? It's at 6 o'clock. So you know that they had like a meet and greet like at 4 p.m., like end of the day, right? Like cocktail party type of situation. He writes, today after careful consideration, he may have even written this up while he was talking to Ron DeSantis. After careful consideration, a positive meeting with Governor DeSantis, I've decided to endorse President real Donald Trump for 2024. I look forward to fighting alongside him to reclaim our country from the leftist forces trying to destroy it. And he posts this thing. I met with Governor DeSantis, and while he's done commendable work in Florida, there's no doubt in my mind that President Trump is the only leader who can save America from the leftist onslaught we are currently facing. President Trump is a tireless fighter. I'm not even going to read any more of that. But
just amazing that he met with him that day and then came out of the meeting and was like, you know what? I can't do it.
And the interesting thing is that, Ron DeSantis has been involved in this fight with Disney. It started when Disney put out what was not a strong message, but like a tepid criticism of his "Don't Say Gay" bill. And DeSantis went ballistic and tried to basically Disney has a weird relationship with the county or whatever, the municipality or whatever it is that they're involved in. And there was a board, and it's like they have an improvement district or something like that they sort of have some non-governmental oversight over. I can't quite figure out. DeSantis orchestrated a takeover of this board, which ostensibly would run like all of Disney's sort of the infrastructure in this sort of quasi uncharted. And Disney figured out a way to basically sever their relationship with the board, as DeSantis did. And DeSantis got pissed. And he's been trying to figure out for months how to get at them. And then he shows up at this press conference. Remember now, this is just about them critiquing his "Don't Say Gay" bill. This is just bizarro behavior. And I think let's play this.
If you look at this whole special district, Walt Disney Corporation obviously owns a lot of it, but the district owns other land. Quite frankly, I wasn't even thinking about that land. This was not something that was really important one way or another. We just wanted them to live under the same rules, pay the debt, pay the taxes, all that stuff. Oh, but come to think of it, now people are like, well, what should we do with this land? And so, it's like, okay, people have said, maybe have maybe create a state park, maybe try to do more amusement parks. Someone even said, maybe you need another state prison. Who knows? I just think that the possibilities are endless, and so that is now going to be analyzed to see what would make the most sense, and that wasn't necessarily even on the radar.
I can assure you they're not going to put in a state park there. But this guy's going after Disney. And listen, I don't mind corporations having to pay their fair share of taxes. I don't mind the rolling back some of their patent rights and their trademark rights. But when you talk about weaponizing government, this is exactly what you're not supposed to do. They disagree with my politics. I'm going to go put a prison next to Disney World. We're gonna choose this land to put a prison in. We're gonna put a rival theme park in on the state land. I would imagine this is also part of the reason why Ron DeSantis is not getting anywhere, because some of his big potential corporate donors are going like, this guy is a little bit too much. This is, I don't know if DeSantis thinks that this is like he saw Trump do this, because Trump was trying to do this like with Bezos, right? And do it in the wrong way. The way to do it with Bezos is like, we're going to do a wealth tax. No, of course, Trump doesn't want to do that because he'd be subject to it too. But this guy's like fasci. This guy's authoritarian. This is the same guy who's like, I'm going to mispronounce. What word was it that he would mispronounce?
The Thai food?
Yeah, the Thai food. Just to see if someone's going to go along with him saying that or not. He's going to be corrected by it.
It's also just fascinating, like...
Remember, also...
Yeah.
Yale and Harvard?
Yep.
Yale undergrad, Harvard law school.
Yep. Super.
And there's...
in that regard.
And this is also like... This dynamic that we see with DeSantis, and frankly, we see with a lot of Republicans, is the same dynamic that we saw with the trans issue in that New York Times article yesterday, which is there's this implication, like there's this like force out there that's forcing them to do this. There's this force in the real people are forcing these politicians to be responsive to them. Because a Harvard-educated, Yale-educated guy, he's not going to be this fashy. But the fact of the matter is, no, they can be. And there's evidence there that it is. There's no constituency who's going like, we really want Disney to pay their infrastructure things. Like, I mean, it's conceivable, I guess, maybe they're like, local Orlando officials, but...
Or putting a state prison next to Disney World?
Yeah, I don't think there's a constituency.
Yeah, who's the market for that?
It's the biggest employer in the state.
Right, so yeah, let's put a jail next to it.
Yeah.
While you're driving there to Magic Kingdom, see a prison on the horizon.
But when you see the Times or when you see other writers, talk about like... DeSantis is harnessing something, or the Republicans are harnessing like this. No, they are them, and they're not harnessing something. They're creating it. Demagoguery is not like something where you sympathize with the demagogue. We're like, hey, what is he gonna do? He's just riding the wave, man. No, you know what? They got a wave machine.
They're creating
the water's there, but they've got the wave machine. When you're focus testing stuff, that's not riding a thing. You're saying like, where can I build this? I don't know if it's working with DeSantis though, because that's the thing. He's such a true believer, this guy. I think he scares some of like the,
I was gonna say, I think it's legitimately off-putting to some people.
I mean, the beauty of Trump, I think, for a lot of these Republicans, to some extent, is that like he's transactional. He's super transactional. Hey, folks, one of the biggest challenges we have in today's media world is how do I become an educated media consumer? And for me, what helps me understand what's happening with stories out there and how it's being reported, I use Ground News. What it does is it breaks down how a story is being covered, both on ideological lines, left, center, right, and in terms of corporate, non-corporate media. It's all there, very transparent. It gives you the opportunity to look at like how a story is being covered internationally by neighboring countries or countries around the globe. It also has this feature called blind spots, where you can see if there's a story that is being covered more by the left or the right, you can start to see how media narratives are built. It's a fascinating site. It's a really helpful tool to educate yourself on media. ground.news/majority. Try it for yourself. It's going to enhance both your understanding of the news today and long term. It's going to build your ability to be a better media consumer. Check it out. ground.news/majority.